All right, we're going to work with the quadratic formula. I'm going to do number one pretty quick for you. X squared minus 8x minus 65 is equal to 0. We're going to use the quadratic formula. Negative b, the b is already negative, so it's a positive 8, a negative 8, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is a negative 8 squared, minus 4ac, 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is a negative 65, okay, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1, 2. Do you need to write the ones? No, but I'm just filling it in. Now, the discriminant is the first thing that you've got to work with. It's like parentheses here. You've got to get rid of the radical first in this problem. Negative 8 squared is negative times negative is positive. 8 times 8 is 64. So this turns into 64 minus 4 times 1, which is 4, times negative 65. Negative 4 times negative 65 is a positive 260. So 260 plus 64 is equal to a positive 324. Now, that tells me two things. If you remember about discriminants, this has a positive answer, so it has two solutions. So we better find two values for x in this problem that turn it into 0. Okay, we have to. Why? Because my discriminant is a positive number. If it came out to be a 0 or a negative number, then it would show me other answers. If it's negative, you know it's not right. Okay, or not right. It's just there's no solutions that would work for it. Okay, now the good news is 324 is the part that's still under the radical. And the good news is 324 is a perfect square. Okay, if you did those perfect squares in that perfect square chart up through 18 to 20, 25, the square root of 324 is 18. 18 times 18 is 324. Now, if you've got a calculator, all you have to do is find the square root of 324. 324 square root, or square root 324 equals. Either way, depends on the calculator that you've got. You'd find out the square root of 24 is 18. So this whole chunk right here turns into 18. Now this is the key. It's 8 plus and 8 minus 18, all divided by 2. Okay, so we're going to find two different answers. 8 plus 18 is 26, divided by 2, x equals 13. 8 minus is negative 10. Negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5. So our two solutions for this are 13, 0, negative 5, 0. Those would be my two solutions, my 2 points where it crosses the x-axis. Now, you should go back in and test this to make sure it's correct. Take the negative 5. Negative 5 squared is a positive 25 plus 40. 25 plus 40 is 65. 65 minus 65, yippity skippity, equals 0. So 5 works. Let's test 13, because sometimes you'll find out one of them works, one of them doesn't. So something's wrong with my discriminant if one of them works and one of them doesn't. Now, they both have to work. 13 squared is 169, and 8 times 13 is 104. 169 minus 104 is a positive 65. 65 minus 65 is 0. So this works as well. So using the quadratic equation, we were able to put all the a's, b's, and c's into the quadratic equation or quadratic formula and find my two solutions, x equals 13 and x equals negative 5. All right. Now, some of the other problems in this do not have it set to 0. You just have to move a positive 4 to the other side. You just have to move a positive 7 to the other side. Okay, before you can solve them, you've got to make sure that it is set equal to 0. Okay, and then go about putting it into the quadratic formula and working it out from there. Okay, so I'll go back over here. This was number 1, put into the quadratic formula. All worked out nice and pretty and neat. I want you to work on this when you've got the discriminant worksheet taken care of. Now, the first 6 are all quadratics. On to the second page or the second half, it's just a mixture of review of distribution and FOIL and or lattice, whatever you want to say, adding and subtracting like terms. It's all just practice. Heaven forbid you practice before you take your test on Thursday this week. So good luck. Do your best. Talk to you later.